Hello everyone, here I am with the most awaited biology lecture. Because of all your demands, I had to make a video on this also. Actually, there is lack of time, right? So what I have done is I have gathered many 1-mark questions from your previous year question papers and your model paper. Then what I am going to do is I will explain you each question one by one, and then I will also talk on the related topics of that question. It is something like what is called as mind maps. I will not go into much deeper because we don't have so much time, but I will try to make small mind maps with each question, and there is no necessity that I will talk on only 1-mark questions. I would take 1-mark questions, then I would make a mind map for 2 marks, 3 marks or 4-mark questions also. So please do watch this video till end and let me know your feedback, because I am teaching biology for the first time. I am making this just because of the huge demand, because you all people need this video. That's why I am making it. Okay. Now I have given an example here. See, for example, if you have a question based on composition of air, then what all we will learn? We will learn the components of air like carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen and other gases, and then we will also learn their uses. Okay, this is how I am going to talk in this lecture. Now before starting the video, please do like to the video if you are liking what I am doing, and then share this video. Not only this video, the entire playlist which I have made on GPSTR 2022, please share with your friends, because you have only 2-3 days now, isn't it? So please help each other and also help your own self also. Okay. Now also one more tip I want to give before starting this video. Now the way I am teaching in this class, or the way I am going to teach in this class, you all can follow to prepare yourself for all subjects. Take one question from your previous year question paper or your model paper, then read what all is related to that question. Okay. So this is one best procedure in the end times, just before the exam. This is one best procedure for you all to prepare, because due to lack of time, you cannot cover the entire syllabus now, right? So whatever you have read, keep it in your mind. Along with that, you follow this procedure also. You can follow this for chemistry, physics and math as well. Now this is a question I have taken from previous year question paper of the year 2017. Actually, I have made a list of each year. From 2017, I have taken questions from biology, then from 2019, then from your model paper also I have taken. In this video, I have taken only 1-mark questions, but I will talk on all the related topics like the small mind maps, and those may be asked you as a 2-mark or 3-mark or 4-mark question also. Okay. So first question is, movement of oxygen into the cell and carbon dioxide to outside the cell occurs by the process of. So here 4 options are given: osmosis, transpiration, diffusion and guttation. Now what is osmosis? Osmosis means it is a spontaneous passage or diffusion of water to other solvents through a semi-permeable membrane. Here I have given you figure also so as to make you all understand clearly. One more example which I can give for osmosis is grapes. Okay, that water, it will diffuse from one part to the other part through one membrane which is semi-permeable. Okay, so this is known as osmosis. I have kept a picture of a leaf here. This is the best example of transpiration. You can see the water vapors on this leaf. Okay, this is known as transpiration. Now diffusion means movement of molecules from high concentration area to low concentration area. Here both the solvent and solute, that means the particles and the liquid, both will move. Okay, this is known as diffusion. And guttation, it is like transpiration only, but it is not transpiration. It is the process of secretion of water droplets from the pores of some vascular plants. Okay, from the tips. They are plants like grass, they exhibit this guttation. Okay, so from this discussion, what we find that diffusion is the answer for this question, because oxygen, when it is filled in the cell, when there is maximum of oxygen in the cell, that means when there is high concentration of oxygen in the cell, then that oxygen will come out of the cell, and then there is a gap created in the cell, right? There again, carbon dioxide from the outside the cell will come inside the cell. Okay, So here you can see that the oxygen is moving from high concentration to low concentration. And then again carbon dioxide is moving from high concentration to low concentration inside the cell. That's why the process is known as diffusion here. Here now again they may ask as 2 mark or 3 mark questions. That's why I am explaining this also. They may ask you the difference between diffusion and osmosis because they look similar, right? But they are not similar. So diffusion, it is passive movement of particles, ions and molecules along the concentration gradient. While osmosis, it is diffusion of only water, that is only solvent, across the semi-permeable membrane. Diffusion, it can occur in solids, liquids and gases, but osmosis can only happen in water. And diffusion, it does not require any semi-permeable membrane, right? But osmosis is a process which requires a semi-permeable membrane. Now next they may ask you the difference between guttation and transpiration also. Guttation and transpiration, they look the same but they are not same, okay? Because guttation, it occurs only at night, but transpiration, it usually occurs during daytime only. You can see the droplets on the leaf. It is not raining, but then still you will find water droplets on the leaf in the daytime. Then guttation, it is a loss of water from leaves in the form of liquid droplets. But transpiration, here water is lost from the leaves in the form of water vapor. Guttation occurs through the vein endings of the leaves, that is the tips of the leaves. But transpiration, it occurs through the stomata. And guttation, it is not a controlled process, it is an uncontrolled process. But transpiration is a controlled process. See, I am not going into much deeper because this is not the time for us to discuss so many things, okay? Maybe if you are interested, you can read and you can learn. But while discussing, it is better that I keep as much short as possible so that you all also will not get bored. For me also, it will be easy to mention about the important points. Now, which of the following does not play a prime role in the formation of soil from rocks? They have given 4 options: sun, wind, water and trees. We have to mention which of the following will not play a prime role, an important role in the formation of soil from rocks. Actually, the surface layer of the Earth's crust is called soil. All of you must be knowing what is soil, right? So, it is formed by the process of weathering and erosion due to weather and soil erosion. It takes a long time to form the soil, and there are several factors which affect the process of soil formation. What are they? First is climate, second is topography, third is parent material, fourth is organic material, and fifth is it is taking long time. It is time span, right? So among the 4 options, what is not there? Because the question is which does not play a prime role in the formation of soil from rocks. What is not there is water. Water will not play any role in the formation of soil. Now next question. Blindness is associated with the deficiency of, which is the vitamin you have to tick? It is vitamin A. Actually, there is a table which I am giving you here. You must have read this in your school days also. Each vitamin deficiency is responsible for some particular type of diseases. Okay, those vitamins have chemical names also. For example, vitamin B12, it is cyanocobalamin. Okay, because of the deficiency of this cyanocobalamin, you will get anemia. That is, your blood HB level will go down. So what doctor will do? He will give you supplement of vitamin B12. If you have deficiency of vitamin B12, doctor will give you supplement of vitamin B12 so that your HB level will go up. Okay, this is an best example. So they may ask anything. They may ask you chemical name. They may ask you diseases which are caused due to deficiency of which vitamin. Anything. But one question is sure in your exam. Next, which of the food chain directly depends on solar radiation? They have given 4 food chains. Okay, these are actually types of food chains. Okay, decomposer food chain, detritus food chain, grazing food chain and parasitic food chain. Now the answer for this is grazing food chain. In grazing food chain only, directly the food chain depends on solar radiation. Now let's know what are these food chains. Firstly, the grazing food chain, it will directly depend on solar energy. This is because grazing food chain, it will begin with the producers. Producers means plants. Then it moves to primary and secondary consumers. There is one more food chain known as detritus food chain. Actually, detritus means some decay and dead matter of the organic material, okay, of animals and plants after they die, no, whatever that is decaying, that is detritus, okay. Now this food chain means whatever animals are eating those things, no, with that this food chain will be formed. In grazing, directly sun, after sun you will get the producer. That producer is growing, that producer means plant, that is growing due to sunlight, isn't it? So that's why our answer here is grazing food chain. Then parasitic food chain. Parasitic food chain means it is one type of food chain. It will start from herbivores. Okay, herbivores means those animals which eat plants. But food energy, it will transfer from larger organism to smaller organism. Basically, what are parasites? Parasites means they are sitting on the animals, right? They are the bigger animals. That's why they will come on the top of the food chain, okay? They may ask one question like this. What is the shape of the pyramid in a parasitic food chain? Here you can see that in that food chain, no, on the topmost layer, you will get hyperparasites. Then you will get parasites. But it is starting from producers. Plants are there. Plants are eaten by birds. Then upon birds, these parasites will sit. Upon those parasites, hyperparasites also may sit and they may take the energy from them. So the answer for this question is the shape of the pyramid in a parasitic food chain is inverted, as the number of bacteria and fungi are comparatively more than the producers and secondary consumers. So we need to talk more upon this food chain, okay? Because maybe they will ask us 2-mark question also. Now, there is one more thing called food web. What is the difference between food chain and food web means? In food chain, I have put a figure here, you can see. In food chain, there is just one path of energy. For example, plants, grasshopper will sit, grasshopper will eat that plant. Then again, grasshopper, it is eaten by rat. Again, that rat, it will be eaten by eagle. Only one way, one thing we are telling, only one link we are giving. This is known as food chain. But in food web, no, everything will be connected. Finally, when here you are in food chain, you are getting this eagle as the topmost thing, no. In food web also, eagle will be there. But what all eagle will eat, that all you will mention in the food web. It is like that. Okay, there are 4 major parts of food chain. First is sun, because that will be the initial source of energy and it will provide energy for everything on this planet. Next is producers. What are producers? Means these are the first stage of food chain. Usually producers are plants or else other organisms that produce their own nutrients through photosynthesis. Then consumers, whoever eat these producers, no, they are consumers. These are all organisms that are dependent on plants or other organisms for food. This is the largest part of a food web because it will contain many living organisms. Not only we humans, there are many other animals, birds, insects, so many things are there, no? That's why in the food web, there will be many consumers. Then decomposers. These are organisms that get energy from dead or waste organic material. This is the last stage in food chain and they convert organic waste materials into inorganic materials like nutrient-rich soil or land. Basically, decomposers are those which spoil things, okay, which spoil things. Already, see, for example, if any rat is dead, after some days, no, you will get some stinking smell in your home. That is because that rat is getting decomposed. Why it is getting decomposed? It is getting decomposed because of these decomposers only. So, they will also have one food chain. Okay. Now, which one of the following is not an example of detrivore? See, what are detrivores or detritivores means? They are also some organisms which derive their nutrition from organic waste of dead and decaying plants and animals. I was talking about detritus, right? The detritus is that material that is waste of dead and decaying plants and animals. So, organisms which take nutrition from this detritus are known as detritivores or detrivores. They also, because they are also playing the role of parasites. So, they occupy the topmost position in the food chain. Difference between parasites and detrivores is parasites, they will sit on the living animals and plants. But detrivores, they will sit on the dead animals and plants which are decaying. Okay. So, the terrestrial detrivores, they will include butterflies, beetles, snails and slugs. Now, I am giving you the difference between detrivores and decomposers. It can be a 3-mark question or 4-mark question also. See, the difference is that Detritivores are also one type of decomposers only. Along with them, scavengers and saprophytes, they are also decomposers. In detritivores, they eat or they take nutrition from dead plants and dead animals. But decomposers, they eat dead plants and animals and they spoil them also. They degrade them also. And then detritivores examples are butterflies, beetles and all that. But in decomposers, bacteria, fungus, because they are spoiling, right? They are all decomposers. Now, in our question, we have to say which is not an example of detritivore. So, here, earthworm is not an example of detritivore. Because earthworm, no, it has all the business in the soil. It breaks the particles in the soil. That's why it's known as a friend of the farmer. Even this can be asked as a one-mark question. Earthworm is known as a friend of the farmer because it has everything to do with the soil. It does not decompose or it does not sit on a detritus. Next question. Read the following statements. Carbon monoxide is a greenhouse gas. CFC causes ozone depletion. SO2 means sulfur dioxide release can cause acid rain. Then they have given you 4 options. You have to take the right one. 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3 or simply 1. See here, Earth's greenhouse gases, they trap heat in atmosphere and warm the planet. Okay, so they are troubling the planet. The main gases responsible for the greenhouse effect, they include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide and water vapor which will occur naturally and mainly fluorinated gases which are synthetic. Okay, these are the main gases which are responsible for greenhouse effect. So, carbon monoxide is not there in the list. So, that option will be wrong. Next is chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs and hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs. They are the fluorinated gases which we are talking just now. They deplete the ozone layer. They are affecting the ozone layer. In fact, you are getting some holes in the ozone layer because of these. These chlorofluorocarbons, they are released from refrigerators and coolers. This can be a MCQ. This can be a biology question or a GK question also. So, they are depleting the ozone layer. And then sulfur dioxide, it is one of the main reasons actually. Acid rain, it results when sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are emitted into the atmosphere and they are getting transported by wind and air currents. Okay. So, statement second and statement third are right. First statement is wrong. So, our option B will be correct. 2 and 3 are the correct statements. Next question. Synthesis of ATP in plants occur in nucleus and ribosome, chloroplast and mitochondria, mitochondria and nucleus, ribosome and lysosome. Now, the right answer is chloroplast and mitochondria. Okay, it occurs, the synthesis of ATP, it occurs in mitochondria. Now, they have already asked this question, so for sure they won't ask this question this time, isn't it? But then they can ask some related questions. So, the full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Actually, it is known as the energy currency of the cell. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. Note it down, it is a 1-mark question. Actually, it is the organic compound which is composed of phosphate groups, adenine and the sugar ribose. These molecules, they provide energy for various biochemical processes in the body. There are certain functions of ATP which can be asked for 3 marks, 2 marks or 4 marks, you never know. You should be ready with everything. So, first function is that ATP, it is used for various cellular functions including transportation of different molecules across the cell membranes. Then it supplies the energy required for muscle contraction, circulation of blood, locomotion and various body movements. It also synthesizes the multi-thousand types of macromolecules that the cell requires for their survival. And it is also used as a switch to control chemical reactions and to send messages. Next question. Identify the correct statement. All chordates are vertebrates, all vertebrates are chordates, all protochordates are without notochord, all vertebrates are not coelomates. Actually, chordates include urochordates and vertebrates. Vertebrates means here, no, in our body, notochord is replaced by vertebral column, which we call as backbone. But in protochordates, this vertebral column is not present. Therefore, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. So that finishes our 2017 question paper. Here we start 2019 question paper. In chromosome mapping, one map unit represents. Actually, this chromosome mapping is also known as linkage mapping. It is a genetic map based on recombination chromosomes. Here units are called map units and they show distance between the genes. Here one map unit will be equal to 1% of chance of recombination of the chromosomes. Here you can see this figure. Here no homologous chromosomes are aligned. Then again in second stage you can see that there is a crossover between the chromosomes. Blue and red color you can see. Here you can see that recombination is happening. So in chromosomes mapping, one map unit represents 1% crossing over between two sites on a chromosome. Next question. Immunosuppression is not included by, there are 4 options. Antihistamines, removal of lymphoid tissue, use of anti-lymphotic antibodies, cytotoxic drugs. Actually, immunosuppression means it is a state where your body's immune system will not function as it should actually function. Means your body immune system is not working properly. Okay. So immunosuppression, it is caused by certain diseases. But it may happen to you also because of intake of some medications. Okay. These medications, they suppress the immune system. Some medical procedures, they also can cause immunosuppression. So here option 2 is the right answer because removal of lymphoid tissue is not going to affect your immunity. Okay. But these drugs like antihistamines, then anti-lymphocytic antibodies or cytotoxic drugs, they all will affect your immunity. Your immunity may get suppressed. Next question. The most significant feature of vegetative propagation is that. Vegetative propagation means vegetative reproduction. There are other 2 types of reproduction, that sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction and all that. Okay. So this vegetative reproduction, it is also known as a vegetative propagation, vegetative multiplication or cloning. Okay. So this is a type of asexual reproduction which occurs in plants, in which one new plant, it will grow from this piece of the parental plant. Okay. Here only one plant is involved and no other plant is involved. The offspring here, it will be the result of only one parent. The new plant is genetically identical to the parent and the offspring of the plants, they are like clones to the original plant. Okay. Because no DNA mixing is happening here. And the most common form of this vegetative reproduction are grafting, cutting, layering, tissue culture, all that. So it is a means of production of large population of individuals genetically identical to the parent. Okay. So here the most significant feature of vegetative propagation is that it is the means of producing a large population of individuals genetically identical to the parents. So this time maybe they will ask this type of a question. Which is not a method of vegetative propagation? So you should answer this question in the comment section. See the options. Micropropagation, budding, sowing, layering. I will give you hint. Hint is that micropropagation, budding and layering means it is related to some cutting of the plants. But sowing means throwing those seeds on the land. Okay. So which may be not a method of vegetative propagation? You have to answer this question in the comment section. Next question. C-peptide of human insulin is responsible for its biological activity, removed during maturation of proinsulin to insulin, a part of mature insulin molecule, responsible for formation of disulfide bridges. In mammals, including us, insulin is synthesized as prohormone, which needs to be processed before it becomes fully matured and functional hormone. It contains one extra stretch. That stretch is called a C-peptide and this will be removed during maturation into insulin. Okay. So option 2 is the right answer. This time this type of question may be asked. Genetically engineered human insulin is obtained by inserting the gene in. Which is the gene which will be inserted to obtain genetically engineered human insulin? That is E. coli cells. They are the cells which have been biologically engineered with insulin producing genes from human pancreatic cells. So option C is the right answer. Next question. The process of mineralization by microbes helps in the release of. So to answer this question, we should know what is humus. Humus means it is a dark colored organic colloidal and amorphous component. It is formed by decomposition of dead organic matter. Then the process in which this decomposition of dead organic matter is leading to formation of this humus is known as humification. Then mineralization happens. This is the process of further degradation of humus by microbes, resulting in the release of inorganic substance into the soil. Now you can surely answer this question, right? The process of mineralization by microbes helps in the release of, yes, inorganic nutrients from humus. Next question. In many embryos, differentiation begins at the following stage. Actually, these are the stages of embryonic development: cleavage, blastula, gastrula and neurula. So you please learn these stages. Actually, first as zygote, it becomes cleavage. Okay. Then again it will turn into many thousands of cells, which is known as blastula. Then comes gastrulation, and later on in very late stage this neurula comes into picture. So the mitotic division, it will start at zygote, moves through isthmus of the oviduct called cleavage towards the uterus, and then it will form 2, 4, 8, 16 daughter cells, many daughter cells. It is called as blastomers. The embryo at 8, 16 celled stage, it is called as morula. Okay, thus the division starts at cleavage. So our option should be option 1. Now that finishes our 2019 question paper. Here starts the model paper. First question is, the hormone that triggers the fall of mature leaves and fruits from plants is due to. Actually, these are the 4 hormones. Here they are asking us the hormone which will trigger the fall of mature leaves. That means it will stop the growth. Okay, it is against the growth of plant. So that will be abscisic acid. The rest 3, they are growth hormones. Auxin, gibberellin and cytokinin, they are all growth hormones. They promote the growth. Okay. So abscisic acid is a growth inhibiting plant hormone. It is called so because of the formation of abscission layer, which is responsible for the fall of mature leaves and fruits from the plants. Auxin, it is a plant hormone that controls various growth and development processes in plants. Gibberellin, it is a plant hormone which promotes stem elongation, flowering, dormancy, germination, etc. Whereas cytokinin, it is also one of the growth hormone, and these are active in promoting cell division. Meiosis happens because of this. Then growth, differentiation and other physiological processes. Example for cytokinin means kinetin, zeatin and benzyladenine. Okay, next question. Protozoa parasite that is responsible for Kala Azar is. It is a disease actually. So which is a parasite responsible for this disease is Leishmania. It is caused by this parasite called Leishmania. In India, it is called Leishmania donovani. Because of this protozoa, the disease is also known as Leishmaniasis. Okay. Now, why does this disease happen? What is the cause? The leading cause is one sand fly. The name is female phlebotomine. This is a vector or transmitter of this Leishmania parasite. The sand flies, it will feed on animals and humans for blood, which they need to develop their eggs. Then again, if blood having Leishmania parasite is drawn from an animal or human, the next person who will receive this bite will become infected and develop this disease. Then again, after months of initial infection, this disease will get progressed and it will become severe, and it is taken into form as a visceral leishmaniasis or Kala Azar. Now, what are the symptoms? How do we identify this disease? Actually, in the beginning, it will cause some skin sores or ulcers at the site of that sandfly bite. Then again, it will get advanced. It will attack the immune system. Then Kala Azar, it will present itself in full form after 2 to 8 months. You will find a recurring fever with a double rise in temperature, loss of appetite, weight loss, weakness, fatigue, then dry, thin, scaly skin and hair loss, grayish discoloration of the skin of hands, feet, face and abdomen in light-skinned people. Hence name Kala Azar or black fever. Okay. This rapid deficiency in red blood cells or hemoglobin will also occur because of this disease. Then again, enlargement of spleen, intestine, liver enlargement. All this happens because of this sandfly. Okay. So any of this point can be asked as a 1 mark question, and the entire thing can be asked as a 3 mark or 4 mark question. So please prepare for it. Next question. The movement of sunflower in accordance with the path of the sun is due to. You know that the sunflower is always facing towards the sun, right? This is happening because of phototropism. Tropism means it is a manner in which the plants grow. In phototropism, the plant, it will grow towards the direction of the light. That's why wherever sun is there, it will turn towards the sun. Then next comes geotropism. This is the movement of plant parts in response to gravity. Here you can see the figure. If that plant is moving away from the gravity, then it is negatively geotropic. Or if the roots are moving towards the ground, then it is known as positively geotropic. Next comes chemotropism. This is the movement of a part of the plant in response to a chemical stimulus. Here the growth of pollen tube towards the ovule is induced by a sugary substance as stimulus. Okay, this is one example of positive chemotropism. Next comes hydrotropism. In hydrotropism, the plants, they tend to reach the area with the moisture content. Means they want to grow towards the water, like the movement of roots towards high humidity level. Here you can see the picture. The root is going towards water. It is growing in that direction. Examples of hydrotropism are plants like tomato. Here roots, they go towards water. Radish roots, or even carrots also. Okay. Next question. The organisms which consist of open circulatory system, jointed legs, bilaterally symmetrical belongs to. The answer is Arthropoda, and for this you have to learn all this. Actually, animals, they are broadly classified into species, then genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom and domain. So this is how animals are classified. According to their classification, they are put into different categories. Those categories, they are divided on the basis of subcharacteristics. For example, Arthropoda, it consists of open circulatory system, jointed legs which are bilaterally symmetrical. So these type of animals, they are put into this Arthropoda. It's like that. Okay. Similarly, you have many things. Porifera, Nidaria, Nematoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Chordata. We belong to Chordata. We are vertebrates. Vertebrates which are having backbone, they are belonging to Chordata. It's like that. Okay. See, I cannot go into much deeper, especially for biology, because there is lack of time, and I believe that you all will prepare with this notes and my lecture. So if you like my work, please do like the video, share it, subscribe to my channel, and also you click that bell icon so that you get updates next time also. Okay. All the best. Just remember that you have to focus on your studies, and hard work always pays. Okay. Hard work always pays. Just remember this. And if you want to make your future bright with this job, then this is the time for you to work hard. Remember, it's never too late. Okay. I am with you all. Just go on and just prepare.